G'day and welcome to the third, I can't remember, video on the 8 mower restoration. So we've got everything pretty much sorted out. Got the daily going first. That was the most important thing because the lawn was shooting up, getting very tall, so I had to go and mow that. And so that was sort of the priority to get it together. The rest of them, I've put most of the utility together and the rest of them are all in etch and ready for body working. So I'll do the bulk of them at the same time. I've ordered some parts and bits and pieces like that, so it shouldn't be too hard to get, a lot of them in sort of actioned. I want to finish these off fairly quickly because I've got some work to do on the XC, and I want to also take a moment to thank Addison. He is a supporter from Laylaw, and I went up there today and he gave me 2 power steering pumps, Thompson ones, for the XW. I'm going to put one on the XW. I was originally going to put an Eaton pump on it, but they're impossible to find and most of them are knackered now. So these are the early Thompson ones. So I might even put one on the XC because that's what's meant to be there. It's got a Sagnor at the moment, but it's meant to be a Thompson. So Addison, thanks very much indeed for those if you see this. Also a power window switch and some XD Falcon original books that they came with in the glove box. It's got a couple of sets of those. So I just want to say thanks very much to those that have been patient for the XC Falcon restoration. That we'll be getting back to that. I always say that, but we will. It's been going on too long and it's driving me nuts. But in the meantime, here's the next here's the latest video on the mowers. So I hope you enjoy. Right, our really rugged heap of rubbish is almost looking half decent. This has got the wrong wheels on the back. I don't know what that came on. They're later ones, and the hubcap's all cracked. It's got the chrome bars. Originally it had shorter supports. These overhang, which I don't really like that much, but it's daily. The other Mayfair sticker kit I bought ages and ages ago, I've just thrown it on. It says you should put some clear on, so I'll just use some of this from Milsom's, $15 or something. Really good stuff. It seems that it's enamel based, not acrylic. It's enamel based. It seems, I did the front of this because I thought, you know what, if it makes a mess, I don't really care. But it looks like, given that the hammer tone is enamel as well, it looks like it's going to be right. So we've nearly got this ready. The only thing is, this is, did I tell you, made from all of the very worst stuff I have. All the spring, and I don't know if you can see under there. Where is it? It must be on this side. Yeah, the spring and all that sort of stuff's in there. It's cleaned up underneath, but it's not perfect, if you know what I mean. But it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. The other thing with the motor it's getting... Now the motor it's getting is this guy. This is a 160. Oi! And it's got the spaces there for the utility base. So that's coming off. So they have to come off and then those nuts go right up to the crankcase. So date-wise, I don't know. Can I read that? It says I think it's 75. I think that's 1975. The one that came off that base is 76, so it's kind of date correct for it anyway, which doesn't really matter. I think I've got to rotate that around, but otherwise that's where we're up to at the moment. So tomorrow I'll put that engine on. That's a little daily. That 160 looks like it fits in very well, and obviously they're not going to use a different base for the larger engine. Oy, what do we got here? This muffler was off the utility as well. It's pretty good, and that will just slot into like that. I won't put a torpedo on this one. I love the torpedo mufflers. Is that going to be in the right spot? Yes, that looks pretty right. It'll do for now. So I'll clean that up and I'll blow over it with some paint. I want to clear the whole thing actually. That's just jam clear. But it looks pretty good. It's pretty bashed up, this thing, but it's not that bad. I've just sort of cleared around where the sticker is just to protect it. That's what the instructions say you to do. They tell you to use acrylic, but how much did you use that? I mean, that's pretty good stuff. I might go and buy another couple of cans of it. But anyway, yeah, that'll do fine. We'll just check the points, clean them. Got to turn that around as I said before. But I haven't painted the tops yet. I need to paint a top for it. And we'll have this going in no time. It's just that back door, which is a pain. I should have bought a rattle can of etch, but I usually use a gun. Anyway, it'll do for now. Life's good, and it looks like it's going to work fine. I'm messing around with this daily engine. I've got a second-hand gasket. And the muffler wasn't too bad. That gasket's pretty box, but we'll try it on for size. I think it's got to go that way, doesn't it? Oh, you come back. Stay there. Normally I put elastic on, but I've run out. Just want to mow the grass. That's all we're looking at doing at the moment. And this is going to be fine for that. And these are the worst clamps I've got. How are these going? Oh, I'll just spring it over like that. I think I'll just use brute strength if I have any. Same on the side. Daughter's got her friends over, F this, F that, a lot of that sort of thing going on. I think that's about right. I only painted this morning, just ran over it with a rail can of that heat-proof stuff, but that'll burn in alright, so we're cool. We've got the muffler on. We'll see if it fits on the base. It should. I've taken these extensions out because this was a utility motor, and they normally have extensions underneath that nut there. I'll just make sure they're tight and we're good to go. This should fit. And it does. Look at that. Right, so we're just going to put the bolts on the bottom. I'll grab some clean ones, not plated ones. This thing's going to get mucked up pretty quickly. But it won't matter because the trouble with these is you can't keep them clean really. I mean, you can hose them off and that sort of stuff, but a mower is a mower. You know, they're not designed to stay squeaky. I'll just stick some bolts, some nuts in here just to start it. And then tighten them up. I'm using Philo Vision. Here we go. We're on. And then we can just get one of these ones done up a bit, then we can tilt the thing right back and get the rest on. And that's sort of only had a very rudimentary clean. You can see it's still discoloured and there's JB Weld and all that sort of stuff around it, but I don't think that matters. I don't think it's important at all. I was going to make a brace, just use a bit of right angle. I'm just worried about clearancing. I could probably still do it on these back ones just to spread the load out, but look, I'm going to chance it. Check this out. Somebody has replaced that seal rather badly. That will fail soon. I'm wondering if I should just redo it. That does not look good. The engine ran though. It ran really well. I didn't see that before. Had I seen it, I'd have put another one on. So that's not very good. But I think it should be alright for now. It certainly ran alright. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. We'll get to that if it gives us any trouble later. I'm just filing the points, or sanding the points. Good idea once you've done this just to run a clean card or something through there to take any residue off. I was going to put an electronic on this, but I don't think I can be bothered. At this stage I just want to get it going, so I need to do the lawn. That will be right. This is a really nice flywheel. One of the other ones, I just want to rotate that. I'm going to take that key out just a moment. That looks about right. That's a pretty good spark. A pretty good gap, I should say. The blades I replaced a couple of years ago, and you can see they're in absolutely excellent shape. I'm just going to run a flappy disc on angle grinder off each end there just to sharpen them a bit. But these have got pretty much no wear on them, and I've had them for a few years. I think, yes, it's 2.5 years ago I did this. So I'll just sharpen those and put them back on. I think they're going to be fine. I will use the disc, the 4-blade disc. That's what this mower came with. It's not the right one for the mower, but it's been blasted and they gave it a rattle can just to keep the corrosion off it for now. But once we start using the thing, well, it's going to be a different ball game, I think. I've got a disc we can stick it back on. I've checked all this for cracks. It looks pretty good, as in no cracks. And I've given them a little bit of a sharpen on the edges. We've got a washer and a nut. The washer's plated and heat treated. The nut's not. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to lift him up. stick a bit of CS down there and try not to wreck this towel, but it looks like I may have already done that. I'll just have to stick that under with the washer, and that will lock into there, I think. Is that right? Yep. And the nut. And then I forgot the rattle gun. I don't want to get tagged by that blade though, I'm just going to hold it up by the wheel. Beautiful. Let's get the socket off now. Okay, how tight are you? Yep, that's tight. And that's, no, that's the way it goes. Nice clearance to the edge. But, certainly enough, the dog's driving me mental, the kids are driving me mental, but the mower's doing alright. Sweet. This one had a problem with the stop on it. It's been modified, someone's put a crimp terminal in there and a sort of a screw. Apparently it didn't stop. If I get that and stick it on there and hold it on stop, that works. Just means to stop it, you've got to hold it back. I think that'll be alright. We'll just stick this carburetor back on. And Willie, come back. This is the original one that came with this engine. And what have we got? These kind of are like a bayonet fitting, like a light bulb. They kind of go in and then twist, like that. And then that goes on. There we go. I'll just get some pliers. Squeeze that into position. And that hose has to work its way up to the handlebars, which is sweet. That's fine. And the decompressor has to be connected up. And then we'll put the lid on. So there we go. So this bolt arrangement here, I don't know what that was. I think he said it was a, what do you call it? A idle speed thing. So where's that wire? This wire's up here and he had it pinned in there. I'll try it for now. I prefer just a switch on off on the front. If it's got dodgy anything, I'd sooner just do it that way. But we'll go with this for now because, well, it's... Is that... Am I going to be happy with that? I'm not going to be happy with that. No, I'm not going to be happy with that. Let's just do it another way. Well, hopefully they get tired soon. Those kids got more staying power than me. Let's just solder him up, make it look nice, and get a good joint. There we go. Let that cool off. A little bit of hose ready for that decompressor. I don't know what I did with it. And we'll just slide him over. Light him up with a smoke lighter. And then that'll do. The only black stuff I've got actually is too big. So that's what we're stuck with. I don't think it's a big deal. It's all looking rather tasty at the moment. I've just got to find that hose. I've got a few of them somewhere. I've also got this thing here that goes on the inside of the cowl. I'm not really sure what that does. Does that go? Yeah, I don't know. Where's the cowl? Just a moment. So these things sort of sit like that in a roundabout kind of way over there. So this valve, I don't know where the hell it goes. I don't know what it's supposed to do. Whatever the case, I'm going to hijack its hose and stick it on the carburetor and onto the decompressor. So that will now work. That would be the plan anyway. As far as the fasteners is concerned, what did I do? Oh, I've put the other fasteners away for the top, and I've also got the ones for the back here. I'm just going to do this quickly. It's probably not necessary, but the way that pin is there, Blake sent a message in to say they should be vertical. I kind of agree with that. Not that the up and down motion would cause the pin to come out, but if they're designed to go that way, then that's the way we'll do them. And I think it's not really about that. It's probably more about the harmonics in the engine at given rev ranges. They do funny things, particularly a little single cylinder that's not all that well balanced. So I'm going to turn it around, do the other one, and I'll just slide that down. It's 4 nuts. That's all it is. We don't take the rings out, and the head doesn't come off. I've just taken the flange bolts off or nuts off. Just straighten those things out, make them vertical, and we should be good. So as far as the top's concerned, I actually prepared the wrong one. This one's not quite as good, which is fine for this engine. That will just sit over there. And I'm using all the worst bolts I've got. Starting with this manky looking one for the exhaust. Let's go through the exhaust bracket. And this one's not much better. It's pretty crap as well. We'll just tighten these down. Is that going to fit? Yeah, that fits. And of course there's 2 on the head as well, on the back. Well, and it all looks alright, this thing, but it's just made from all the crap that's left, if you know what I mean. So all the good stuff I'm keeping for the others. What I've done is by 13 in a socket, I'll just use a spanner. I think I'll just use a spanner for this. We've got a, what do you call it? A boot for the spark plug as well. I don't know if you can see this, my arm's probably in the way. I'm just doing these into the head nuts. There we go. There's also a clip that holds it up to that shroud. I might just turn this around and show you what I mean. Well, we've got the cover, which I've given a wash. That degreaser stuff from Super Cheap's brilliant. I've stuck that sticker on the front. It's the wrong one for this, but I don't care because it was the wrong kit for the Mayfair I had. There's cracks all over it, so I've drilled the ends of it and put some epoxy there. Hopefully the crack stays repaired and doesn't show its face, but I mean, I'm sure it will. You can see where it was. You can also see where the glue is with those little spots. We can touch it up if we're fussy, but we're not fussy. So I'm just going to take that tape off. Yeah, I might have to touch those up. That looks rather rubbish down there, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, it looks like it's stuck around. We're just going to do what we can to get around this. Now, there's a sticker goes in here. Bit of contact adhesive. There's the sticker there. It's 162 stroke or whatever it says. 160 whatever. And there's another one that goes on that oval bit there. Around about there. And we'll just, I think I missed a bit. And we'll do the same for that. We don't want to spend money. We're just trying to do this on the cheap. We've also got to get the fuel tank supports and put a bit of foam on there. So these just have to sit there. Oh, yep, that's stuck. And this one. I didn't think that glue would work on the foam, but it seems to work really well. That's not coming off at all. And they just sit in the front to support the fuel tank, and we've got to put one of these little clips on too for the HT lead. Probably goes the other way, but she'll be right. Is that going to come off? That's not going to come off. Beautiful. I need a fuel tank. Just a moment. Right. We got the stickers on. All around there and on the front. Yep, big deal. And we just stick it on like that. And that should be the end of it, really. I don't want to do any more on this. 30 marks on it. It's going to get a lot of those soon though. And oh, is it 3 long ones and 1 short one? There's another long one there, I think. I've only got 2 out. And then we just put a bit of juice in and give it a road test. If we can start these screws crooked. There we go. I'm just going to get another, there's a short one in there. I just need one more long one. I left them in another container over the other side of the garage. But that is fundamentally it. I'll just get the other one and I'll nip those up. Might as well connect that to the carby. And that should go. It should go. I'm not sure if it will. Well, I've never used a funnel to fill a mower though, but I don't want to get this thing dirty. It is pretty well knackered though, like around this adjuster there, that's stuffed, and it might even be worth getting a few extra bits for it, I'm not sure. But it is fairly rough around the back where I've filled it, but it doesn't matter. It's just an exercise in let's be stupid, really. So the next $64,000 question is does it go? Let's turn the fuel on. Those are the leaks. I guess we just got to see if it starts. I've got a catcher here already. Where's start? Start's just off there. Give it up. It feels like it's got about twice the torque of the old 125. It just gets through anything. It's only partial throttle. This is thick, this stuff. It's just a lot less effort than what it was before. So I mean the other engine was well underpowered because it was knackered anyway. And I have a whipper snip. So it's a really half-assed job, but the point is, it's working really, really well. Also, I'm finding these bars a lot more user-friendly than the other type. The only problem with these things, they do fill up the catcher very, very quickly. Given it some love and hosed off underneath it. I've never done that to any mower I've ever had. Anyway, I think that'll do for now. That's cool. Is it going to focus? Yes, it's focusing. We have a beautiful Victa utility. This is back from the powder coater, and you can see, wait, hang on, before I drop it, you can see the condition of it. It's beautiful. Sam at TechCode did this, and we've got the spring, which you'll see will go in there, and that hooks up to that rod. Going to be absolutely magnificent. So I've got to continue putting this together. There's the front axle for it. And of course we've done all the bars in antique white, which I think is going to look magnificent. So the downside of having something like that in such good restored condition is we need an engine to look just as good. And the two 160s that I've got at the moment, I didn't hydroblast the cases. So I might actually just blast over one with a rattle can just to make it look good. There's a chute flap there, which I didn't get powder coated because it would bind on the hinge. So I can either leave that or put a, we'll just paint the black thing. But it's looking good. I've had to take the powder coat off these areas here in order to fit those clips. But it's looking really, really nice. So, which way does that go? Hang on. Yeah, so it's going to be magnificent. I'm very happy with it. So we'll knock this one out fairly quickly. I might even fit a 125 to it. I'm not sure. It should probably have a 160 back on. I've got one that's date correct for it and all this sort of stuff, but I don't think it matters much. I've got a lovely 125 which will look magnificent on there too, but this thing won't really get used. It'll just sit on the bench and look nice. But I'm particularly wrapped. You can see some of the pittings where this is a steel base, so there's been some corrosion, but just in those sort of pits there, but it doesn't matter. That's its story. I think it looks wonderful. So we'll continue with this then. Rightio. So I've got this axle here. I'm going to take this tape off. If I can see where to take it off from. This is special tape they use. It just looks like parcel tape almost, but it's special stuff for the powder coaters to use because it's heat resistant. So they don't end up putting powder coating on the axles themselves. They use a primer, and the powder coating itself is actually quite thick. That gives you a look at it there. So it's quite, quite thick. The other thing is, I made the stupid move of putting the wrong bush on the other mower, and I can't be bothered pulling it apart. They use a flat bottom type bush. So we'll just whack a bit of grease on the shaft itself. And this is the correct bush, so I'm going to put the incorrect one on the other side. These can be quite... These bushes are in great condition, by the way. There's this one, and there's also... Where's the other one? I cut it back. Yeah, not great. And then these just sort of sit on these brackets. And we screw them in. Now, what I've done is I haven't used... That might still be a bit too broad, is it? Because the washer sits under there. Hang on a minute, we'll just try this. It might not work so well. And I'm using quarter fines. These are just quarter 28s, I think. There we go. And this one goes on here. Let's pull that back through a little bit. And should be good. Yeah, this one seems to sit a little bit better. Anyway, we'll do those up. I'm using a lock washer on both sides too, to stop it spinning. Come on, get in there. There we go. I went to put that linkage on, and it's too far forward. I think that's the easiest position to get that spring in. Or maybe it's going to be better to put it that way. Yes, I believe it might be. So I'm just going to try and stretch that over without scratching the crap out of everything. It might be a little bit, maybe it's going to be easy getting that side in first. I just don't want to scratch anything. That like that. Hang on a minute. And yes, it is. It's much easier. Now I can kind of move that back get it in there. It's this way, you idiot. I'm going to squeeze that through like that. There's a sewer clip that goes in here. Is it going to go in? Yes, I think it will. Right, now what we've got now is we've got a system of, so we've got this thing, hang on a minute, the bars, and I reckon the bars are going to be easier to put on in that position so that then we can move it off and lock it in. The underside of it was corroded, so I had those bits powder coated, and you can see they're all pitted and, you know, pretty mucky, but it doesn't matter that much because these will poke in from underneath. And the first one's always going to be a bit of a mongrel to get in. So that has to sort of go like that. I don't want to... Hang on. Oh, before I go any further, I've got to put these end caps in. Hang on, I'll just do that. Oh, well, that just sort of sits in there, doesn't it? And this one too. Sweet, good. That's not bad. And then we'll just put him through there. Great. And rest him in there. And just get a nut started. Should I put a flat washer? Yes, I believe I probably should. Just get that started. And that'll hold it where I need it to be. Right, so we'll just go around and put the others in. And the other ones have a sort of a similar sort of sew on the top of them. That's the hole is here. Followed by a silver one. We'll put a flat washer and an Norrock. Sweet, that looks fairly good. Right, that works. That's a bit stiff because I've got the wrong bush there, so I've got to order a new bush for there. Unfortunately, I used it on the other machine without realising it was unique to this one, but it doesn't matter, simply because I'll just get another one before I pull the other one apart because it runs and it's good and it's all hunky-dory. So that's how that looks, and I think that looks rather good. So I think now we'll clean up these little gaskets, hub gaskets. That one's already clean, and we'll stick some wheelie bobs on. And then at least, yeah, that's got a crack in it. That's not good. But don't worry because the hubcap will cover that up. So I'll just lube these up, clean up the hubcaps and stick the wheels on. Grease up the wheels. My daughter's there, itching to say something inappropriate. But we don't do that, do we, Rose? We don't say inappropriate stuff. These wheels are a little bit, how you going? Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not great. But that's all I got. That'll go on here. I need to wipe my finger. There's grease on it. Let's just clear that one up right now. Where's the rag, Rosie? I've lost it.
Which one?
The stripy one I was using just... Oh, here.
Oh.
It's alright, we got it, we're good. We're good, we're good. So we'll stick this sewer clip in. If indeed we can get the bloody thing in, what the hell is going on? Are these not the right wheels for it? I thought these are the wheels it came with. Okay, I need to investigate this. These looked a bit poor. Let me just see if it's these ones. Yes, it is. Wrong wheels, never mind. We'll put the right ones on now. Bit more grease on there. And these ones did look better. This did look like a really nice one before I pulled it apart. So if it doesn't look nice anymore, that would be my fault. Oh, that's much better. Cool. All right. That looks like it's going to rotate. There we go. Lovely. Not the nicest hubcap or wheels, but it'll do for now. That's all I got. So I'll stick the others on and we should be good. Sometimes you've got to take some of the powder coating off where they've missed with the tape. So it's got to go right against that hub. And they prime the powder coat, so it can be really tough to get off. This isn't too bad. It looks like it's okay. So when we go to put the wheel on, I'm not sure I want to use that wheel. It doesn't look as good. Hang on. I should get some new wheels. That's fine. I guess we'll try it, see how that goes. Does that go on the inside? On the outside? I think it goes this way. Ooh. There we go. It's not that good. Sort of roughly how it would look. This engine's an early one. It's got no decompressor. It hasn't got the spaces there for the utility, but I can put them on. Early flywheel. This is from the 18. I've got two of those, and the other one would be suited probably to this one with the crank joint in from 1963. By the time this came around, of course, it had the full-size flywheel. I'm not going to use this because another thing is that I haven't got a cowl for it. These early ones use the big steel cowl that covers the whole thing with the sort of piece on the front, that sort of thing. Some of them do. Others just have the standard steel cowl, not the undercowl with the plastic lid. But that's roughly, you know, the direction we're going. It doesn't look too bad. I think it looks quite smart, really. But I think we need to put a 160 back in that. That's what it's meant to have. And I've now got all of the bases. There's 5 bases I've got etch primed. I've got a bodywork, some of them. Just minor bodywork, not much. We're not getting carried away. So I'm going to put this over the other side to store it for now. And we'll move on to something else. Right, so we've got 6 bases in etch. There's 2 here. And there's 3 over there. And there's all over junk everywhere. This is the 18. I don't think I'm going to do anything to this. It's got some casting flash there, but I don't think that matters much. So a lot of the purists won't like what I'm going to do with this. It's not going to be original colour. I don't like the original colour of them. So I'm going to do something different. These things, there's little bits of tape. I always forget where stuff is. That's just a bit of filler there. There's some adhesive necessary. I've drilled that crack and I've filed it down. I'll channel that out. Put some JB in there. Same as the spring rest. Just fill it in with a bit of JB weld. I don't know if that's a crack. It looks like one, but it might not. It doesn't seem to have gone through anywhere. But we'll chip it out and fill it. And just a bit of filler in these sorts of areas. Of course, this is the one that's got a chunk missing. Again, I filed it flat on the front. And we'll just put a piece in there and just fill it. This is actually the worst base I've got. But it's not as bad as the one that I'm using as a daily. It's still fairly presentable. The rest of them are really good. There's, you know, small bits of... Will you focus, please, Mr. Camera? Yeah, a little bit of filler there on the front of the stripe. Adhesive, there's a tiny hole from a big pit underneath. So we'll obviously use the JB on that. Just fill in and fix up imperfections, and not completely. I mean, there is a lot of casting marks on these and divots here and there, and I don't care about that stuff. It's just the stuff that stands out. The reason for that is because most of them are getting automotive paint jobs, and the automotive paint will show up a lot of imperfections. Even if you pile it on and clear the arse out of it, you're still going to find that it does show up. But one of them will get hammered in dark blue hammer or blue hammer tone. I haven't decided which one. Of course, the only one I'm sort of certain about is the other Mayfair, the original Mayfair from next door. That's the only one I've got actually. It doesn't have an exhaust port going underneath. But this will give us a chance to do these. I'm sort of doing them all at the same time in the catcher doors. I'm not doing the catcher doors black. I'm doing them body colour, and I'm also going to paint underneath in body colour as well, or at least some other alternative colour. I just want them to look nice. And while I'm waiting for parts, and I've ordered a bunch of parts. I've ordered ring kits for 20 over 125s and standard 160 and wheel bushes and, you know, all sorts of stuff like that. Decompressor rebuild kits, a couple of those. I haven't ordered all the parts, but I've ordered most of them to get the utility will be finished, and a couple of these will get finished as well. And by then, I'll bring a video out with that in the next one. So there'll be bodywork in this next one and some colours on them. The other thing I've got to wait for is sticker kits, so I can't clear coat until I put the stickers on the front, on the aprons. Once those sticker kits are on, I can clear coat them and they'll look really, really nice. But I'm enjoying this. It's nice, light, fluffy stuff. It's really enjoyable. The only problem I've got with it is room, which is my always constant complaint. But on that note, I hope you've enjoyed this. Take good care of yourselves. Enjoy your classics, and I'll see you soon. What do you reckon? Shit. Jesus.